So as you can see, this is the option of Amazon S3 read only access. So this policy will be applied on all the S3 buckets that you have in your S3 buckets, right? This permission will be applied on all the buckets that reside within your AWS S3 service. Check that option and next, and then call it whatever you want. They have already have it here and they have attached it to it. Or you can either create your instance, then create that role, then assign it to the running instance by going check the which instance you want to assign to it that role, then go to actions, then security, then modify the IAM role, and then you can check that here, start to type it, and that role will appear. Then choose it and click save. Nice. So now what we have to do is to create our deployment. So this revision location, what I have to do is I have to specify the revision. Revisions means what? The artifact that I have stored or that I have built and stored in S3 bucket, right? So what I have to do is go to this S3 bucket, check that and copy the S3 URL. It will give you the IRN of that object. The IRN stands for the application resource name. So if, for example, Google that and check the IRN. It stands for, sorry, Amazon, and it stands for Amazon resource name, right? So go to code deploy and paste it here, and don't add nothing to that IRN, but instead of that go here to revision file type and click on zip, then go down here and go with the default, then create the deployment. So if everything works as we expected, how the deployment must finish successfully. But if there is an issue there, you can come down here, right? This issue is good that happened because I want to show you how you can fix that issues when you face them, right? And here we have an error in scripts, copy scripts. In scripts copy file. Oh, nice. Here, because of connection problem, that is why I had a timeout issue. So I have to click on view more, and then this will show me that. So I have host key verification failed, lost connection. And why that? So I will stop that and reconnect again. Then the issue was that here I have forgot to change the IP address of our master node and to create the cluster directory under the home Ubuntu directory. So here we will use iscopy, which is secure copy that is based on the SSH. So the first thing before we should run this command, we have to make an SSH connection and copy our public key to the host that we want to copy our files to. Then run this command. Then what I have to do now is try to add commit and then push, then build, then rebuild. So that is why it's better to use Codepipeline instead of run each one manually, either the code build and code deploy. This will be very boring and will be self-restricted. And now go to deployment. So here in the instance for the master and the worker node, I didn't use the t2.micro instance because master node requires at least 2 CPU and 4 GB to run QPDM on it. So this one, it will cost you some money, so make sure to run that very quickly, then stop them. Otherwise you will be in the charge in hours to pay for the time that you have spent using this type of instance, right? Because this one is not belong, or they are not within the free tier that AWS give you in the 12 months. And another thing for the build also cost you, or for the time that you build your code, right? So if you try to build for much time, then you will end with the budget or with the cost at the end that AWS will ask you to give. So now I have to switch Sahib Lahali. Right. Sorry. Layer. Any free time message. And so once you run this command is copy, right, on this, you will copy this file on this remote host, right? Then the first thing that this host that you will run on this command to see if there is an SSH connection between this host that you want to copy from, and let me show you here. If you run, for example, the is copy on this host, right? Then the first thing is this host will try to make an SSH to this